Hey Gerry, we're live. Welcome everybody. It's Sunday, June 13th. I always got to look at the date because I just lose track. June 13th. So we're basically just about middle way through the month. What a great week it was, to be frank. There's no Frank here, but to be frank, I'm going to kind of recap where my week was, kind of where I'm standing at month to date, and also where I'm at year to date. And then good old GW here will go through, recap his week, kind of look at his month, and then kind of maybe where he sits at, if he's willing to share with all of us, where he sits at year to date. Because I think last week I kind of pinged you on it. So welcome everybody in here. We'll do some little bit of a shout outs to all these folks in here. And let me just go through my recap here. So for last week, June 7th through the 11th, I realized $1,461, which was a good week compared to the week before. But to be honest, I have a lot of stuff I could take off right now. I got $1,700 in unrealized stuff that I could take off, but I'm just going to let it bake. I need to get a little bit more used to letting stuff bake, taking some stuff off that it may be a little more risky than the other stuff, or it kind of met profit pretty quickly. So the stuff I've been taking off lately has all been going to new expiries out to June 30th. So as it sits right now, I got stuff built out, $2,500 of premium built out for June 16th, $3,400 for June 23rd, and I have about $164 in premium for June 30th. So this week, I'll be looking to take some more stuff off for June 16th expiry and moving it out to June 30th. And then, once we get out to another...
I think you're talking July.
What's that? Yeah, you're right. July. Shit.
I think you're talking July.
Scrap all that. Everything I basically said is July. July 16th, July 23rd, July 30th. I got to get used to these long dated things, man. Yeah. Thanks for that correction. So literally got stuff all the way out to July 30th at this point, and I'll keep building that out. And then when we get another week or so, when we get past this week, I'll look to see where the DTEs are. If they're still if they're 50 days out, then I'll look at maybe still putting on July 30th versus pushing it out to August. So I don't want to really get much past 50 DTEs if I can. So that's where I kind of sit on those. So where am I at month to date? I know year to date I'm just over 15%, so that's about 1.5% more than the S&P 500 sits right now. Do you remember what I said for my year or my month to date, Gerry?
It's like I said 1.6 or something like that.
1 point something or other. I don't have that document up, so yeah, it's like 1.6 or something. You know what? I put it in my blog post, so I can get it from there while I'm talking. So portfolio margin's working out very good. I just put a blog post out. If you kind of want to get more recap, you want to look at the latest positions and all that, you want to get the latest stats. It's a very quick read. Like I said, any speed reader out there, you could probably read through it in like 3 minutes or something like that. But it has a lot of stats. There's a lot of graphs out there too. Let me see. So, the hell. 1.17%, Gerry. So I'm looking good. The month's half over, right? So 2% goal. Like I said, I have $1,700 in premium, $2,000 in what the platform's showing right now that I could take off. That's all in profit. So I'm just letting it bake. And I think that's a smart thing to do. I didn't want to take a bunch of stuff going off into the weekend, but as it sits right now, maintenance margin is sitting at $99,000. I have portfolio margin turned on, and buying power usage is at 36% for a total premium of $6,200 sitting out there. So that's kind of the recap of week to date, month to date, and then year to date. Sorry, year to date, I'm at just over $27,000 at this point. So go ahead and recap your month, your week, your month, and your year, Gerry.
Yeah, so like you said, last week was good. Definitely had a great week. I ended up closing out $719.10 in realized profit for the week. Um, I'm just speaking IB there. There are some things that I do in Fidelity in my Roth accounts that I don't really track, but I'm starting to. So for the month, realized profit of $1,488.11, and that works out to my return month to date is 2.7-ish%. I don't know if it's 2.75, somewhere in there. My year to date, I need to do some corrections because I had some screw ups back in January and I threw in some wrong numbers. I think in my spreadsheet I had premium collected and not actual profit. So I had a bad January and I need to really refigure that. So I'm actually even, if we're talking about S&P 500, I'm actually like right there. So
13.
yeah, but I'm catching it. I'm catching it like really quick, and I'm gonna bypass that S&P here shortly. So I mean, back in January, I was still kind of learning too. I was very, very young in this, so my performance from February on, after learning some lessons in January and getting my ass handed to me and all that good stuff, I've said this before. I think everybody needs to get their ass handed to them once in a while.
No doubt.
And when you do that, you need to learn from it. Getting your ass handed to you is not a bad thing as long as you learn from it. And
if it's on a silver platter, it's even better.
Yeah. So doing good. I'm actually very happy. My buying power usage right now is sitting at 29%. We had a little bit of a not large, but we had a windfall that we were able to put into the options account. And so I'm kind of struggling putting stuff on and adjusting for more buying power, right? Because if you watch some of these older live streams, I ran 50%, 60% buying power margin, right? And now I'm sitting at 29%, and I'm having a little hard time getting back up. I don't think I'm going to go back up to 50, 60%, but if I can get into the 35% range, I think I'd be comfortable there. So from what I'm seeing, this longer dated stuff is working out very well. I don't have much left for the month. I think I have $350 left cooking for the month. But I got almost 2,500 in July. And again, there's a lot of stuff I can pull off right now and replace. And like Dave says, going out to July 30th, I got July 16th built out really well. July 23rd I can add to. So things are looking well. I'm happy.
So a couple of questions for you. You talk about getting your ass handed to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody. And honestly, with options, it really hasn't happened to me. Now, I used to day trade options while I was buying premium, and I'd lose 10 grand in a week. I'd make 10 grand in a week. But that is a different scenario. So I've never really had my ass handed to me doing what I'm doing now. So, but I'm a lot safer than you are. You're definitely a lot more to make 2% already at this point. You're definitely more aggressive than I am. And I don't know if you're not necessarily aggressive on the strikes necessarily. You're doing higher, return on capital, I suppose, type of stocks, which is risky inherently because of the underlying. But I'm just curious. Now you got a windfall, whatever. Not even sure what that term means, really. Just because a tree fell in your yard, that's a windfall? But anyways, I digress. Your account's getting larger. Do you see yourself getting a little more safer with the underlying, with your strikes or with anything like that at all? I mean, you already said you're going to pull back your buying power, right? So that's going to probably reduce your returns, right?
Yeah, that's the problem that I'm running into is where do I adjust here, or do I even need to adjust, right? Because the stuff that because we've discussed it, I'm doing a lot of plays where you get maximum amount of premium for the margin impact that it takes,
Yeah.
and that's been my strategy for the past quite a few months now, and it's worked out. There was that time, what was it? Was it April or was it May, where we had that downturn, but that's when I was running really hot. So
Late February into early March, we had one.
yeah, and so if you're running that hot, was it really an issue with my underlying choices, or was it just because I was running too hot, right?
Well, you're running hot, so you had more premium on. So the question is can you make the same amount with not running hot, right?
Right. And for now, from what I'm seeing at the moment, it looks like that I can. But I mean, everything works when in an up market, right? Says, I mean,
True.
everything I put on, every position I have on, I have 31 contracts on 25 different positions, and every last one of them is in the green. Every last one of them, except for one leap, and that's it. So everything's working, and that's kind of scary in a
I do
sense,
see
right?
yourself moving to some of the larger plays that we've been doing, which are stable stocks, right? The Amazons, the Netflix, the Teslas, the Googles, right?
I do see myself doing them, but I think that I would employ credit spreads if I do.
So are you going to wait till you have portfolio margin to do the credit spreads like I do them, or are you going to do like an invest to retire type credit spread where you're not as safe because you have to, in order to make money, you have to move the strikes way up, right?
Right. Right. I would like to, because I like your position with the portfolio margin and the spreads. That makes a ton of freaking sense. And that's the problem with me with the credit spreads right now is I got to fly close to the sun, and I don't like flying that close to the sun on these stocks. I was looking at a Shopify credit spread, and it was a couple $100 below the current share price, but still, that was still like, it was still I think it was a 80% probability of profit or something like that. And that's a little hot, especially playing something like Shopify, that's like $1,800 a share, right? So, or 2,000 a share, something like that.
I do have a Shopify spread on right away. And like Gerry was saying, and we've all been talking about lately, is my spreads are just different than most people's. Like I said, I don't really care about the protection aspect of the spread. I only care about reducing that buying power, and that's how I'm deploying it. So I do have a 950 on, and then I bought the 870. So it's like a little less than $200. I think I got from that.
What's the share price on it right now?
So what's that? Shopify? It's like 1250 ish or something like that.
Yeah, I think the spread I was looking at was like a 1050 and 1040 or something like that. I forget the exact, maybe
The
1050.
lower than what I have.
It was crazy. Like, I have to really be up there, and it makes me a little uncomfortable. And then, defining that risk, right? So maybe I hold off and wait for portfolio margin. It probably won't be until next year or so until I hit that. Because I like the way yours is working for you, and reducing that margin impact is really why I don't get into a lot of those larger, more stable stocks. Number one, there's less premium. Number two, it takes more margin impact. And we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good point. He did test it out on a couple of the stocks that I already have on, and it didn't. And I mean, it literally had, when he put the spread on, it made no difference going out to where I was at. So he had to basically bring the width way down in order to have it any impact on his at all. But
Right.
for me, like, it didn't matter how wide I went. I could go super wide, wide load coming through, and it cut the buying power in half.
Yeah.
So and just a grateful man here. I was laughing at what he said, but Tesla stable. It's probably more stable than a Riot and a Mara and all those shit stocks, right?
That's for sure.
So yeah, I mean, the volatility is where you get the premium from on Tesla, though. Let's do some shout outs here and welcomes and all that. Get through this list here, and we'll see if there's any questions and stuff. We'll move this up like that so we don't look as beautiful. Let's see here. We got MDB in the house. Second ain't so bad. No, especially if there's only two people or one. Let's see. We got Gerry's wife here. We got Gino. We got Thumper in the house. Go take a look at Thumper's latest video where he's trashing interactive brokers. And just kidding.
I haven't watched it yet. Is that what it is?
Honestly, it did feel like he was trashing interactive brokers. Now, that wasn't his intent, by the way, but that's what it came across as. So,
I'll have to check it out tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. He's at the end of the video, he's digging out of a hole at this point. But take a look at the video. It's very interesting. It's about margin impact. He didn't talk about portfolio margin. Well, that's probably a whole separate video. But if you want to know more about margin impact, you want to know more about free ride and all that junk, because I did get restricted for 90 days. I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, I don't know, for making that mistake, right? I did a free ride and then sold it the same day, and they restricted me. So you don't want to get restricted.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. That's a real pain in the ass, because you can't do anything. You can't close out positions. You can't do nothing.
Yeah, like, what the hell is this? I was all mad at the broker. That's a SEC requirement. That's not a broker requirement, right? That's a SEC requirement they have to follow. So I don't, literally, don't be mad at your broker if they restrict you. You made the mistake. Be mad at yourself. Good evening, boys and girls. Let's see here. We got Dividend Dojis. Love that name. I don't know what is that? Like a freaking modified Yoda or what?
No, I'm not sure there.
Yeah, see, Yoda. Okay, so we got James here. We got, let's see, hello, Dave and Gerry. What's going on, James?
Hey.
We definitely enjoy the Thursday nights, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, bringing to the table and all that. We've learned a lot. That's the whole purpose of the Discord, and this whole community in general is just sharing what we learned, learning from mistakes, learning from others, and telling people that they did a shitty job when they did a shitty trade, or I don't know about that, but don't do that again. We got, what's this? Dolph Ziegler? Ziegler or Ziegler?
Sounds foreign.
I think it's Ziegler. Hey guys, yeah, is that foreign? I don't know. That could just be a screen name. Who knows? Invest to retire. Hey, Amazon roller coaster for me. What are you talking? What? Come on, Cletus. What are you talking about?
That's those credit spreads.
Yeah, but he's just not safe on them. I got an Amazon on. I think I got, let me see, I got an Amazon 2000 on. I think I even put a spread on, if I'm not mistaken.
See, that's what I don't want to deal with right there. A roller coaster. That's what keeps me away from the credit spreads.
I got a 2500 on, and I got a 2000 on. And expire the same week. Is that a mistake? Let me look at my latest positions actually in IB, because that could be, maybe my script screwed up, didn't close it. No, it's right. I got a 2000 put and a 2500 put, and I got a 4050 call. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry, it's a spread. So it's a spread on it's a strangle. That's a reverse of a J lizard.
It's an unstrangled spread.
It's a lizard jade. So I do have a strangle on it, but I did do a credit spread at the bottom side to reduce that buying power. Geez, I don't know what the opposite of a jade lizard is. We're going to call a lizard jade for a Davism right now, but Is there a name, anybody that knows, is there a name for opposite of a Jane Lizard? So, we got growth and income. Hello from Tennessee. I love Tennessee. It's definitely a top contender for a retirement destination for me. I love that you guys went tax-free this year on capital gains and interests and dividends and all that junk.
Is it humid as hell in Tennessee?
It's more humid than where you're at and where I'm at. Like, there's no humidity in Colorado at all. People complain about that actually, but I can't stand humidity at all. My face hates it. I'll break out like a teenager. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be more humid in Tennessee than where you're at. But I want to be like, I want to be east of like Knoxville. I want to be kind of up in the hills. It's still going to be humid, but it's not going to be as bad as, like northern, like, or upstate New York or Florida, right? We got Kristen Gonzalez. Hello, what's up, Betty? See, all goods in the house here. Dave's safe for the upcoming week. Yeah, and honestly, I'm Dave semi-safe now. The longer DTEs are just, honestly, even when we have a down day, like a 300-point down day, my account was still positive, like showing positive for the day. So those longer dated DTEs, the gamma and the vega, just don't get affected as much. So it's going to take a lot more of a downturn in order to me to even get tested, I think.
Yeah, it has to be
Even though that, in general, it's like I'm not doing any different strike prices really. Still going out in general. I'm actually moved everything up to about 10% delta. So I don't know. We'll see. Market looks like it's going to make another leg up. We can talk about that later, but it does definitely look like the market's going to make another leg up. SP 500 it's at a new all-time high. It looks like, just look at a chart, channel up, and it looks like it's about to push higher. Qs are still not near the high yet, so we still got a little bit of room to run there. Sir, got a 330 yield. Got a 330 yield, 11.75 5-year CAGR dividend portfolio. That a DCA 1500, I guess that's slash month. And I have about 25K in emergency fund. Could putting like 20K of that into QLD, reinvest back into QLD be a good use. So he's got, yeah, that's actually a really high CAGR. That's interesting. You must have not been like, the utilities or high in utilities or AT&T or Verizon, for example, and you're more into the Starbucks, the Home Depots, what's another high one? Microsoft, Apple.
Yeah.
330 yield. So, which is kind of interesting because that's actually a pretty high yield in a high CAGR. It's normally, I guess that's pretty much right in line. Higher the CAGR, lower the yield usually. Higher the starting yield, lower the CAGR. I was trying to get about 3.5% and above with an 8% CAGR. It's very hard to do if you're in quality stocks. But what do you think about the rest of this here, Gerry, about the QLD portion? He's got 17 to 22 more years.
His specific question is about putting cash in an emergency fund cash into the market. And, I think there's more to be said there. There's more to be asked there. Like, do you have a job?
Is it a stable job?
Is it a stable job?
Are you employable? If you got fired today, could you go get a job tomorrow?
Do you have health issues? All those things kind of come into play, because I'm the type at the moment, I'm like, if you have a stable job and you have income coming in, all your bills are covered and everything's all kosher, why even have an emergency fund?
I have never had an emergency fund, just to go on record to say that. My brokerage account is my emergency fund. In the worst case, I just use a credit card and pay it off. Worst case, I use a credit card and spread it out over a couple months. I haven't paid interest on a credit card in 12 years.
But that being said, I do have a little bit of cash sitting on the side, and I'm using Newsy for that purpose. It's would I be comfortable putting 20K into QILD? I don't know. It's up there, So if you're gonna, that's the point. If you're gonna need to access that cash when the market goes down, are you going to need to lock in those losses to use that cash, right?
Another question is what's his goal of putting it into QLD to begin with? He's got 17 to 22 more years. That's definitely going to cut into his capital appreciation, right?
Yeah, my guess is just he's part of the, they say to have 3 to 6 months of emergency of cash, right? And there's no savings account paying you anything. So, it's kind of dead money, right? To have an emergency.
It is dead money. Learn options. Because even if you didn't want to do what Gerry and I are doing and most of this community are doing, you could just sell like a 6 month, way, way out of the money and make more money than a CD is going to pay you, right? Keep up with inflation at least, right? And you can access the money, pretty much probably anytime you want, especially the longer dated stuff. What do you think about that, Gerry? Think that's a good option?
I think it's an okay option. Like you said, sell something way out. If you can get, 6% on the year for the money, and be fairly safe, that's almost infinitely better than sticking it in a savings account.
There's a slight risk, I would say, if you do need to pull the money out and for some reason 15% or something like that, most likely you're going to be fine as far as like it not being in the money, but you're going to be down in the position. So that could be an issue if you need to access the money and you're going to have to take a loss on it. But you'd have to do the same thing with QILD though, right?
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. The same thing can happen with QILD.
In matter of fact, options, if you go the option route, you can eat that 15% and still not have it affect you versus QLD, it'll be down, right? Because with the options, you're down 15% or something like that anyway, whatever underlying you're in. I would hope in this case you're using some sort of index fund or something. TQQQ is a good option too, but you're going to allow for a 10% move down versus QLD, you're not, right? So I don't know. That's an interesting one. 17 to 22 more years left. I see it there because that yield, you're cutting in your gains just right there being in dividend stocks to begin with. I would definitely learn options for sure. That's going to be you're going to produce way more money than what your dividend portfolio is going to produce. With that amount of time left, you're better off in like a QQQ or doing options. I'm not saying don't build up the dividend portfolio. I'm just saying do all three or do both. Hopefully that answers the question. Join the Discord. It's free. Sound like a broken record. For sure, learn more from my mistakes than my winners. Yeah. Let's see here. We got Marcus Scraper, evening. Oh, Gerry, are we way behind? Let's see here. Everyone is a genius in a bull market. I completely 100% agree. Hope you guys survive in a bear market. I know Dave most likely will, but Gerry, he's getting safer. I don't know. I don't think you're as risky as you used to be. No,
so, I'm not at all.
In a bear market,
I'm only using 29% of my margin or buying power. So
it also depends on how the bear market transpires, right? If the market goes down 15% in a week, 10% in a week, and then just continues to go down for a year, that will affect us. But
affect everybody.
Yes, that is very, very, very unlikely. I can't say very enough. The market doesn't work like that. There's going to be people buying the dip. There's going to be people covering. It just doesn't work like that, right? And a 10% down move in a week is like almost unheard of. I think it did happen in February of 2020. That did affect me, but I recovered from it. I made money out of the deal, right? Just the market going down 10%, that would affect me, but that's fine. A lot of my positions, I can account for that. Some positions, I really try to limit those positions, the more riskier plays, the Spotifys, the pins, all that stupid stuff, right? The Etsy's, the Shopify's, they're not the most solid stuff compared to a Microsoft or a Crapple, right? So yeah, it would definitely cause me to make some moves, right? And that's just part of the game. Let's see here. We got a Tesla. Yeah, we already mentioned that. It's more stable than a Riot, and a Mara, and a Sandal. Rebecca Thompson. Hey guys, see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Rebecca. Let's see here, Dave. If you could talk more about recent news on Intel, I know you own it. My biggest position. I know you. I know you own it. I don't own it anymore. I own it in ETFs now, though. But is on Intel, though I stopped buying shares, started owning Leafs instead. A lot more advantage. Yeah. I honestly haven't followed it. I'm still a believer slash bull on Intel, though. It looks like it's going to go higher. It's going to at least close that gap. It'll probably melt up before earnings, and then who knows, could take after earnings. But I still believe in the company. I still believe in Pat Gelsinger, that he will transform that company. It just doesn't happen overnight, right? Raising the Titanic, it take it's a process, right? You gotta weld that sucker back together, and especially if it cracked in half, right? Pump all the water out, and it just takes a while to turn that company around. And what I've always said is, and this goes for AT&T too, it takes a while to change the sentiment on the stock too. A ton of people say, "Oh, AT&T is range bound. It's not going to go anywhere. They've got too much debt. 180 billion dollars in debt. They're too much." It takes a while to transform that sentiment, get rid of all those issues and stuff. So it's happening at Intel. It's happening at AT&T. I don't know when your leaps expire. I'm assuming you did 2-year leaps. I think you're fine. I don't know what leap prices you did. You could do PMCC on it, assuming you got a pretty good, long call on it. But let's see. Hope that answers your question. We got Richard in the house here. Hey guys. Let's see. Let's see. Overstock has been great week in and out. What do you think about that one? You think you trade Overstock, right?
Yeah, that's one. I've been in and out of that quite a few weeks. So I got a cup. I got a strangle on it at the moment. We'll probably be closing that out here next week. But it's the premiums are a little extended, for sure. Overstock, I don't like the company, but damn it, they were paying, and you can get pretty wide on some of that. But it's starting to creep up a little too high for me to probably continue playing it. I'll have to see.
I got to get a list of Gerry's tickers to run it through my scanner that I use, just to get an idea of what some of these things return. But so Overstock, Wish or Overstock?
Oh, Overstock.
Okay. Shout out to Matt Money and his wishful thinking. Let's see here. We got Stockwatch 1126. Hey, what's going on? James, good to hear. Thumper did a nice review. I agree. Of the chart. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Late to the party. Had to shower after mowing the yard. Wait, hang on a second. Back this train up here. Choo choo. I thought you had somebody mowing your lawn for you. It cost you like $300 last month or something like that. So what are you doing your yard yourself now? That's a good way. That is actually that's like a fire move, right? I'm gonna go out there and mow the lawn myself, right?
Hopefully you got a riding mower.
Yeah, go to Craigslist, go to Facebook, buy a riding lawnmower. If it cost you $300, right? That's 1 month of what you'd pay to have it done, that's a fire move right there.
And
So we
then
got Tam.
invest that $300 the rest of the year, every month.
$300 a month every year.
Yeah.
Every 300 bucks
Yeah.
for the entire, summer season at least, right? So we got Tam. Good evening, Tam. Back to joining us on Sunday nights. Let's see here. Your 2000 is a long put again. Yes, that's correct. And that was what was that? Was Amazon, right? Yeah, it's Amazon. I think that was still going to make me about $400, $460, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that worked out in my favor. Cut the buying power way down. Yes, it's a put credit spread, but I have the long side on too. Sorry, I have a strangle on too. So it's a reverse jade lizard. Is that what they actually call it? A reverse jade lizard? Because that's something I just came up with. What in the cornbread hell are y'all talking about now? That sounds like something I'd say.
That's some Southern stuff right there.
What in the y'all cornbread hell y'all talk about now?
No, you said it too fast.
You talking about? I'm assuming she's talking about like the jade lizards and all that crap. The air is hot soup here. Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I spent time in upstate New York, like in Syracuse area / what's the other area? Rome, New York. I worked out in Rome, New York for a while. And I'll tell you what, you go for an evening walk, you better be back in the house before that sun goes down. There's no way you can survive out in that area with how many mosquitoes will. I mean, it's like, it sounds like a freaking hornet's nest coming after you. It's that bad. I don't know how people like that survive out there. I can go for a walk out here. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. There's no mosquitoes bother me at all. We got GGG Investor, and I asked Investing Sensei. He didn't respond. Are you Investing Sensei's brother? Because you sound exactly like him, or vice versa. Hey, it's been seeing a lot of talk on the Fed at repo. Any thoughts? You talking about the taper tantrum / taper cutting back? Is that what you're talking about? So the Fed is supposedly supposed to cut or supposed to taper by the end of this year, early into next year. So they say that they're not going to upset the markets or whatever, but I don't know. That's what you get the taper tantrum, saying from. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I hope that we can get another 10% out of the market. I would love to get another 10% out of the market by January, February of next year, and then kind of reevaluate. But I can adjust. In this market, we can make money in a down market. We can make money in a sideways market, doing what we're doing here. I don't care about the dividend portfolio. That's just going to sit out there and produce $23,000 a year for me, and I'll keep building that out. I don't really care about the value of it going down, really, other than just trying to beat Matt money. But thinking of doing weekly CSP on Tesla. How far out of the money should I go? 15 Delta. I think it's going to be different for everybody. For me, I have a Tesla on right now. I have a 400 on. That was a 7.5% probability in the money. That's not Delta, by the way. And that brought in $400 for a 46 DTE. That's right up my alley. I dare you, Tesla. Hit that 400. So what about you, Gerry? I know you like the 420s for quite a while.
I would still do the 420s, but I'm looking at 3-4 weeks. 3-4 weeks DTE. It's just getting you got to kind of get too close to that sun of Tesla to really make anything on a weekly. It's going to move, and as long as it goes your way, it's fine. But
it's at 600 right now, so it's still got to drop 34% for me to be in the money.
Yeah, that's why I like that 420. I think the 420. I don't think anybody that's an Elon Musk fan would let it go below 420.
I agree. It's not just that. It's those it's those fanboys out there, right? Like it's the Culture Club fanboys. They just freaking love Tesla to death, and they want every other car company to die, and they actually think they're all going to die, like overnight too. Oil's going to die, Tesla's it. I mean, it's just you got that whole crowd of people, right? And honestly, the cheaper a Tesla gets, the more attractive it'll become. It's still overvalued, even at 600, in my opinion. 400 is probably still overvalued, but I do feel like I can get away with a 400 strike, 45 days out, no problem, because of those fanboys. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know what the delta is right there. Honestly, the delta was probably around 0.10 is my guess. Let's see. Yeah, the acreage. Yeah, she got like 3 or 5 acres or something like that. She could have just mowed around her patio
Yeah.
like most people do. Brush hog. Let's see here. Gotta scroll way up. I got kids outside making noise. JPM, Home Depot's, MO, AbbVie. Yeah, those are some higher ones. I own all those, by the way. Have higher weightings. I have a stable job, loan officer. Wife works good job, steady too. Well, that always helps when you got like a power couple thing going on there. Emergency fund just because I have a rental and stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Um, I had a rental too, and I never kept an emergency fund. But you know what? I think it's smart because I did all the repairs myself. Unless I was out of town, I had to get somebody in there, and that just drove me nuts because I knew they were going to throw shitty parts in there. Um, the thing is if you have somebody repair your rental for you, they're going to use shitty parts and they're just going to charge you more versus you doing it. You can use better parts, plus it's going to be less, right? They're going to charge me like $600 to swap a dishwasher out. And that's including the dishwasher, right? Brand new dishwasher. And I looked up, I couldn't send me the model number of the dishwasher, it didn't match any of the other appliances that were in the house. And it was a really cheap dishwasher, $300. I'm like, hell no. I can go to freaking Lowe's, buy a way better dishwasher, $550, all stainless steel, inside and out, and go out there and swap it out, have a better part in there that matches all the other appliances for less money you're going to charge me. Anyways, don't even get me started on rentals. Don't even get me started, Gerry.
Yeah, so well, he wants to put 20K into QYLD to outpace the savings account. Now, that's the thing. There again, if you're going to need to pull out, $5,000 to replace an air conditioner, what if QYLD is down 20%?
What if he didn't go with QLD and he went with like a Nusi or a Jeppy or something? Or a different option, a freaking something else.
There was a couple of things. I was going to bring this up when we were talking about it earlier, but we were talking about it before. We were talking about investment grade bond funds. There is a corporate junk bond fund that is actually fairly stable. If you look at a long-term chart, it did participate in the March 2020 slightly, but for the most part, it's held that price for the past 5 years. Pays a 5% yield. I don't know. What do you?
Well,
investment grade bonds, you're going to get.
I just don't like the term junk in it.
I wish they wouldn't call it junk, but it's below investment grade, right?
What about like ICSH?
That's the one I was thinking of, but I think that one's like it's under 2%, but it still beats a savings
that'll
account.
Keep up with inflation. Well, I mean, I take that back. That'll keep up with inflation that they tell you it is.
Yeah, but at least it beats a savings account.
Oh yeah, absolutely. High yields, savings account don't pay but like 0.4% right now, so it's not a high yield savings account at all.
So I think something like that, ICSH with a roughly 2% yield, or if you're comfortable going with a below investment grade one, look at SPHY. I think it gives you about a 5.5% yield. not with a little bit more volatility.
What about like BLV, SPTL, BND?
No, I don't
Anyways,
like
there's some
BND.
options for there. Check
Not
out those.
BND.
What's that?
Not BND.
Yeah, I don't like bonds. I've never been a bond fan. Shout out to Dave Ramsey. If you ever see this, Dave Ramsey, not. Um, Dave Ramsey, like he helps so many people. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to his investing advice, I don't think he's the best. He's so old school. I don't believe in that whole, I'm 60 years old. I should be in 60% bonds and all, or whatever. I don't believe in that at all. Like, if you're going to fire, you need to be in the 2200 target date fund. Because that way the bonds are like zero, right?
Yeah.
That's just my own.
Another option that nobody ever talks about, municipal bonds. If you can find a municipal bond for the state that you're in, it's going to be tax free.
I've never. I see them on TV every once in a while. They mention them, but I've just never really. It sounds attractive, but it's not federal. It's probably federally taxed, right? The state not taxed, right? Or am I wrong?
I think it's both, actually,
Wow.
as long as it's in your state.
Do you know if there's an easy way to invest in those? Like, do you have to go through a certain broker to get to them, or are they just like a regular ticker?
There's some funds. There's some regular ETFs there's some closed-end funds that are state specific. You can also go to your freaking city and they should have it available to you there. You can invest directly with your city.
So there, we gave you a bunch of options, sir. Check out some of those bonds that I mentioned. Not bonds. Check out some of those. I haven't marked under bonds, but the SCH, SCSH, SPTL, the one that Gerry mentioned, is probably a better bet than QLD for what you're using it for. Let's see here. We got Rebecca. Yeah, I'll alternate weeks with the guy that comes for the whole fight. Holy cow. I only cut it. Yeah, see, she cuts around the house. Just like one row right next to the sidewalk. If reinvest back into QID, the monthly payouts, I don't see a downside of putting the money out when and if I needed it based on 7 years of performance. I don't know. I think it tank big time if the market goes down. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's a risk. I mean, that's just
a risk.
It's a risk. So,
and if it's just an emergency fund, if you want to outpace a savings account, that's like, QLD is like 11.9% or something like that. That's, how many X is savings account? If you're trying to outpace a savings account, you just really need, 2 to 3% or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And even then, that's way more than what a savings account pays. But didn't QLD change what they tracked? Yeah, they did. Looking at past performance, yeah. Gerry mentioned that like last week or whatever, or he mentions it every single week in some chat or another. You really can't go by, past performance at all on QLD. Do you guys feel we have some bit of correction soon? You decided to try to hedge it now. I really don't.
Maybe 2024.
Depends on what he means by correction too, because corrections are normal. That's just part of the game. It's actually good to have a correction, right? 10% down, 15% down, even a 20% down, like late 2018 or whatever. 20% down, V-shaped recovery, boom, shot up new highs, right? That's how you make new highs. It brings a lot of fresh capital in. You can't keep going higher unless you have those pullbacks. I don't know. Like, it's your guess as good as mine. You ask 100 people, you're going to get 100 different answers. I don't think a correction's coming. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that we're going higher. It looks like we're going higher. If we get to the top of the channel, are we going to have a correction? Maybe. I don't know. There's no way to know. Nobody knows. Honestly, look at it as an opportunity,
Yeah.
right? Maybe have some fresh powder sitting around. I'm not too worried about it, honestly, myself, but because I know that Matt Money will get affected too. So let's see. Oh, that's a jade lizard. Yeah,
No, it's a laid jizzard.
laid lizard. I said lizard jade, but I like laid lizard sounds good. That sounds like something I'd like to say. I'm similar to Gerry, using very little buying power to achieve the 1% per month, less than 25% buying power. Um, he's I don't know how he's comparing himself to you, Gerry, because you're not making your 2% or whatever, or 6% a month with 25% buying power. Even I'm not even using. I mean, I'm using more than that even on portfolio margin.
Well,
So
we'll see how June works out. Last month I squeezed out 2.3, so we'll see
yeah,
how
but wasn't
June
at
works out.
25% buying power.
I don't know. I don't even know how you figure that out
Yeah, I don't
for
think
the
there's any
month.
way really to calculate that out. Like, I mean, we had a last month, if I'm not mistaken, we had like a down week or something like that.
Yeah,
That like,
it was ugly.
yeah, forced us up in the buying power. So I think Richard also, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen some of his posts. He does a little bit riskier stuff too. I think. I don't know. I'm quoting. I'm making shit up now. I thought he
No,
was doing a little bit more riskier stuff than I would even do.
he does weeklies, and he when you're playing weeklies, you kind of have to go a little closer to the sun.
Yeah. James Begley, maybe a ruby dragon. We're making up terms now, folks. We will populate it in the Urban Options Dictionary. Financial options. I know there are better investing options, but the money is just sitting in my savings. Yeah. I haven't seen huge movement in QID. Yeah. If you want no risk or very little risk, put it in something that pays like 2%. If you're willing to have it drop, 10%, 15, 20% in your emergency fund and you need to access that money, that's a risk to get that 11% in paid monthly. I think ICH, whatever the hell it's called, whatever pays monthly too. But
It does.
I'm here for Dave and GW. There's Matt Money pushing out $5, $4.99. Hey, thanks for that, Matt. Matt's getting a shout out. Go check out Matt's channel and his stream, and he does a stream on Wednesdays. He's also pairing up with Kyle on Friday nights as well. He's also, contributor on the Thursday night chats in the Discord as well. So Matt's, we do a little wager here. That's $5 into my pocket and $5 out of his pocket. I'm gonna beat you. He'll mow the lawn. There you go. You got somebody that will mow your lawn, Rebecca, for free. I'm here for Daddy Matt, and he'll mow my lawn. Yeah. Better ask what he wants in return, Rebecca. When does the rap battle start? Specimen fine. What's that mean? Rap battle.
I don't know.
Matt's probably a good rapper.
Probably.
He could rap a Seal song, probably. Rebecca, maybe get one of those robo mowers. Phew. That sounds expensive. Do you think a robo mower could mow 5 acres?
Oh, I would imagine so.
How does it know
Caterpillar.
where the property line and all that crap is?
I don't know.
How does that like not mow over a prairie dog?
Maybe it's GPS or something. I mean, Caterpillar's making all kinds of automated farm equipment, so it's out there.
Caterpillar. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds expensive. I'd love to see the link to it though. Let's see here. I use PM on every Friday I'm over 74% cash only because I'm long in 2 positions for LT plays. But as I accumulate more and more, I see it becomes harder to find more deals. Is he doing options at all?
I'm not sure.
I'm a little lost in this one. I agree though. Like the bigger your account is, the harder it is to find more quality shit. So you end up finding yourself putting on more contracts of the same position and stuff. I don't know. I haven't had to deal with it too much yet. A lot of the capital that's in my account right now, like 15,000 of that's in there, actually set aside for paying the government, the good old government next year. You know,
He explains
so
a
I'm
little more
actually
down below.
using the money that I owe them to make money because I'm going to pay a penalty. So, but I can make more money than they're going to charge me the penalty. You think that's kind of weird, Gerry, where they charge you a penalty for underpayment, but if you overpay them, they don't pay you a penalty?
Yeah, I think that's some BS, to be honest with you.
That's
So
hogwash, folks.
I'm not
Hogwash.
paying any quarterlies until they pay interest on if I were to get a refund.
Well, what they're going to say is the reason you're getting a refund is because you mismanaged how much you've paid in to begin with.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I don't know. The people demand investing sensei. Yeah, I can reach out to him, see if he'll come on. He won't show his face though. I've been trying to stay away from the people that don't show their face. I don't know, just trying to. I think it's more personal to actually have somebody's face here than some talking, blinking icon. But let's see here. My plays are usually Thursday or Friday selling puts on companies I want to own. Premium is very low, about 0.04 because it's far out of the money, but my buying power is so high with portfolio margin, it turns into 4 to 5K a week.
sounds like retirement.
I'm just not sure what he's doing exactly here, how long he's holding them, how long the DTEs are, what companies. Premium is very low, 0.04%. I mean, what is that like on margin impact? Because that's what I'm using to calculate it. Uh, hey, he's right on the premise, right? Doing a companies you want to own. I don't necessarily always follow that rule because there's companies I trade options on that I don't really want to own, but they're solid companies. If I had to take ownership, I feel confident that they would recover, right? A Shopify, for example, right? An Etsy, for example. They're not the most solid companies out there. They still got to prove some shit. They're not a Microsoft, right? So, but I don't know. I still have a no assignment strategy, but it's still a case by case basis. Um, shit, jumped on me. Past 9 weeks, Dave can beat me more ways than financially. I can only imagine what he's thinking there. That's what I do. I'm selling weekly puts on Tesla and making 150 a week. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, the problem is that Tesla drops 15% or 20% in a week, which it can do. He'll probably be fine, but it still will give him a ride, right?
Yep.
Um, I used to do the same thing, but now I've just moved to longer DTEs. It's less. It's so much of a less of a swing daily. Like it's just that Vega and that Gamma just don't get affected as much. Unlike here, he would be affected big time. Our whole idea is to be out of them 10 to 14 days before they expire, right? So we're not going to get affected as much. It's going to have to make a pretty big move in order for us to get affected. U.S. Fed Reserve repo volume hits, yeah. They talk about it almost every week on CNBC, honestly. Taper tantrum, raising interest rates, blah, blah, blah. There's still a lot left in the market, I think. I still wouldn't. I think we're going to make it all the way through January effect, probably through March, April, and then maybe maybe we'll return back to the sell in May and go away until after Labor Day. I wonder how much all of the Twitter and YouTube channels that essentially market Tesla as their stock is worth. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. I did notice that NVIDIA, ever since they announced the split, it's kind of been on a it's been on a move up.
Yep.
And I do have a naked call on it too, so I've been watching it like a hawk. I think it's one of the only positions I'm down on right now. Actually, I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. It's kind of funny how nobody really talks about Neo right now. All Tesla fanboys should be on investing in utility power plants. What about like battery maker companies and lithium and all that shit? And dollar companies as well. Gotta fill the battery. Yeah, I agree. Solar. Yeah, well, silver. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into silver too, or solar. But yeah, I would say those battery companies is a good place to go. And what if they? I don't know. Maybe lithium right now, but think about it. It used to be NiCad. Remember NiCad batteries, nickel ion or
Nickel,
whatever. I mean,
cadmium.
yeah. So alkaline. I mean, what if? Oh, we got a new freaking, whatever compound we're using. It's not freaking lithium anymore. Lithium is dangerous. Little battery like this blew up in my pocket and just about freaking busted my balls off. Like literally, fire shooting out of my pocket. I mean, those things are dangerous.
Gives new meaning to, is that a battery in your pocket, or are you excited to see me?
Yeah, excited to see Matt Money. That scared the shit out of me. Sounded like a gun. I thought I got shot. That's how loud it was.
But I do play some solar companies. I do it through an ETF. I sell puts on ticker symbol TAN.
TAN.
TAN. Solar-ish ETF.
I do TNA.
Of course you would.
It's so funny. It's probably too late to even say it in this because probably the people that unsubscribe to me when they watch these, for some reason, they don't watch them, but they don't like us doing streams. I don't know why, but almost every stream that we do, we get unsubscribed from for some reason, from a handful of people. I don't understand why. And unfortunately, they're not going to make it an hour and 2 minutes into this to answer that question for me. But let's see here. Be right back. Heating up the grill. Who's got a grill on his patio or what?
That's what I was just going to ask. Is that they have community grills, maybe?
A lot of the apartment complexes don't let you. He's like at the 20th floor, and he's at the penthouse. So, what are your favorite growth stocks? Palantir? Ooh, Palantir.
Rocket.
For me, I don't even know if I can answer that because I'm not really a growth stock person.
Me either.
Palantir is actually not a bad one. I don't know anything. I know zero. This is ASS whole, by the way, but sorry. I know zero about Palantir. I do have 6 puts on it right now, but I go by what Matt Money says on Palantir. He believes in the company. He uses it. He thinks that the company is going to be $200 billion in 10 years or whatever. I actually trust Matt Money here, even though I bust his balls in the live streams all the time saying it's going to zero. But I'm not a growth stock type of person, to be honest with you. So I'm probably not the right person to ask. He would say Wish is probably another one too. SoFi, what about that one?
I like SoFi. My Palantir shares got called away on Friday, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll go back into it or not. So I'm not big on individual stocks, period, as far as owning them.
Yeah, options change the game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite growth stock, GGG? I want to know. Let's see here. Yeah, he probably is. So I use NVG for a good bond fund, in and out of it. Placeholder for, okay. NVG, I'll add that to my list. Let me mark that one down. NVG. I'm liking the new feature that IB added to it, where I can kind of group stuff now. And you can move the groups around too. So I
Yeah, I
have,
don't have that.
well, what version do you use?
I don't know.
You're probably using an old version. Yeah, I got groupings in there for Vanguard, total stock market. I got stuff in there for dividend ETS, income ETS, bond funds, and then you can move the whole group around. So I love that option now. Space exploration or electric. I kind of agree. I don't know about space. I don't know about space exploration. That's a long ways off, in my opinion. I do think the electric is probably going because honestly, it's the government that's forcing that. I think that we should have went to natural gas as an intermediate thing before we went to electric. Right? Get off of gasoline and go to natural gas. That's where we should have went. Could have let us all filled up a home and all that, right? If we had
Yeah, I
natural gas at home, but
think the only ones using it is like UPS and FedEx and
buses,
yeah.
some buses,
What is VTOL?
yeah, I don't know, VTOL. Let's see,
Mm,
um, forklifts. Well, those use propane, I suppose, but
yeah, sort of the
VTOL,
same.
yeah. I actually asked that on a live stream one time. What's the difference between natural gas and propane? VTOL is an oil and gas equipment and services company in the U.S. It's a somewhat small company, 757 million. That's right up your alley. Um, you trade anything that small? You're microcap?
Yeah, I do some microcaps. My Smith and Wesson, baby.
Yeah, that's true. I think Smith and Wesson might have a higher market cap than that.
I don't think so. I think they're under a billion.
This is under a billion, Gerry.
Yeah, I think Smith and Wesson's under a billion.
Yeah, was it less than 750?
I think it's right around 750.
All right. This doesn't look bad, to be honest with you. Like it's not. It's got a 1% short flow, so you don't have to worry about that. It's sitting at like a multi-month support level below the 200 pyramid average, literally right near that 25. If you can get like a put down at like 23 or something like that, I might should. I'll mark it down. I'm going to look at it. VTOL, VTOL Sassoon, VTOL Sassoon. Okay, so yeah, I'll take a look at that one. Because I mean, if it had a high short float, I wouldn't touch it probably. Although that's technically helps you on the put side. But we got Damien in the house, probably waiting to bust my balls on something. 20 years to retire, dividend growth, invest at all or just go all growth. Total market for now. Yeah, that's a tough one. 20 years. Um, it depends on the person because some people like to see those monthly dividends / quarterly dividends come in to keep them motivated. You don't have to put it all in the dividend, but you can do a portion of the dividends. If you don't want to do options, just put it in freaking VTI or VU. Be done with it.
Yeah, I was going to say do both.
Yeah. It depends on the person. Some people can't deal with just VTI or VU. It's like it's too slow for them. So that's the reason why putting something in a dividend portfolio, like they see money coming in every single month, quarter, right? And they can see that coming in, and that helps them stay motivated. It's kind of one of those things. If you're one of those people that likes to see, like putting money in and seeing it get directly affected by it, producing more shares and more money coming in, and then trying to beat out previous month, previous quarter, then dividend investing works great. It just depends on the person. What up? We got Investing Sensei. We got his brother. We got his brother in the house. I think Investing Sensei is finally able to start making money again on Neo. Made a video on it. I haven't watched it yet, but he got screwed for a while there while I was down below his cost base. Couldn't make any money.
Neo's coming back?
I think it's coming back a little bit. Enough to make some money on it, probably. So you take a look at it. Yeah, it's come up quite a bit. It's come up like literally $15. So yeah, he's probably back. I don't know what his cost basis is, but that's the problem with wheeling, though, right?
Yep.
That's the risk with wheeling, especially on a stock like that.
especially if you're going to chase the stock up.
And that's a good point about what Primetime brings up with the colonies. Okay, shout out to Primetime. All right, I guess I kind of threw Gerry under the bus last week a little bit as he was crawling out from underneath the bus. You know, I guess when I went back to rewatch it, I guess I'm like, I don't know what this crap is. You know, I call it crap, but it has its place. It's not an end all be all strategy, colonies, okay? But it might be a better strategy than wheeling Neo, right? But I think the colony strategy paired with CSPs could be a decent way to go. If you're just doing colonies, I think there's a risk there because you're basically kind of hoping the market goes down to make money all the time, right? And the market's biased to go up. So I think there's definitely some risk there. And the reason why he's doing colonies to begin with is because he couldn't sell CSPs in that account anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just know the risk there. If you want to know more about colonies, join the Discord. It's free. You can ask Primetime about it. It's not for everybody. I don't think it's for everybody.
I would say I would say it's more like say your traditional investor has a small portion of his investment in spec plays, right? I think that's kind of what it is. If you're going to have the colonies as your total, as a portfolio complete strategy, I think that's the wrong way to go.
Yeah, because it's honestly on way riskier stocks than Gerry and I are we wouldn't even do CSPs on it, right? Like they're just way riskier stocks that as much as he says they won't go bankrupt, but one goes bankrupt, it's like $7K. You know, it doesn't have to be $7K, but you know, $3,000 gone, right? So it's just there's risk there, but I understand the strategy and why he's doing it too. It's probably less riskier. What I always say, it's less riskier than for them going down than like less crappier than a crappy stock, or I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
I just think you need to pick and choose your spots with that. Like I'm doing one, believe it or not. I accidentally got into it, but I'm only doing it on one stock. But you got to pick and choose. You can't just go, okay, I got this big ass colony now and everything's all hunky dory. No, it's not going to work like that.
Yeah, it has its place. It's a specific type of strategy. You can make a decent amount of money, assuming those stocks that you're in that are somewhat low price stocks, right? Dollar to, he says $9, but honestly, like $1 to $5 maybe. You buy 100 shares, and that's what it is, right? And then you keep building it out. But like literally, the thing drops 50%. You might be able to still make money on the covered calls, which is interesting. Unlike a Neo, that thing drops 50%. Good luck, right? And that's his whole point there. So, anyways, we'll stop talking about. But I did throw Gerry under the bus. Sorry about that, Gerry. I called it crappy too. So when I went back and watched, I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I did trash it. But we did have a meeting with Primetime, and it explained it a little bit more, so we understand a little bit better. But I should be just around $2K a month in dividends with the ETFs I added recently. I want to make you happy, Papa Dave and JW. There you go. I'm not at 2K yet. I'm at like 1938 or something like that. Although I think that Schwab is a little bit wrong because they finally populated the JEPI data in there. It's above 1900. I could probably get it above 2 just to be in the rat race with you. But yeah, 2K a month, man. You know what I mean? It takes a boatload of money to make that, unless you're in like QLD or something like that. Jeez. And a traditional dividend portfolio, that's a boatload of money to make 2K a month.
He's in a bunch of QILD.
Yeah. We got a bunch of laughers and ha-ha-haers and rolling on the floor is laughing. Wait, YouTube keeps 45%. Yeah, do they? Jeez. You better calculate that in there, Matt, and start doing $10 instead.
Or just Venmo it.
Yeah, Venmo me. Just smash that like button, Abe. Hey, thanks a lot, Investing Sensei. If you're willing to come on and show your face, let me know. Honestly, if you want to come on and not show your face, that's fine too. Preferably, I would rather people show their face, but I know you probably won't. And I'd be okay to have you on and talk about your strategy. It doesn't have to be tonight, though. It can be next week or the week after or whenever you're free. It's all fake money. It's all fake
All
money.
numbers on a screen.
Jeez, I'm way behind, Jerry. I have 2 puts on cats. Yeah. Is there money in cat, Jerry?
There's light money.
Yeah, I mean, I never really even think about doing any of those dividend stocks like cat. It was down pretty big, but
yeah, I think I had cat a couple months ago, and then premium kind of dried up on it.
yeah, it did have a down day or down week or something, though.
It did. Those infrastructure stocks are at all-time highs. So
Yeah, I think Deere, CMI, they all sold off the same day Cat did. So it was like probably a sector thing. I agree. I like to see faces too. Yeah, you want to come on and show your face, MDB? Has he ever showed his face?
I don't think so. I think he looks like David Hasselhoff.
How do you know he doesn't look like Kit?
That'd be
What does
interesting.
Kit look like? We got Rick in the house. Rick could come on. Well, Rick, are you doing any options? I don't know if Rick's doing any options. Shout out to Rick there. We got Matt Money in the house. Even honestly, Matt Money is not even doing a lot of options these days. He's not really doing a lot these days, is he?
Not a whole lot. I think he does a little bit of just kind of a buy and hold option person.
And honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with him getting his ass handed to him in GME. I think it's just because he's busy going into the office, working, and all that stuff. So
exactly.
We got Sam Adams. We got Adam Sam. Is BlackBerry a legit company or just a meme stock? I think that one's for you, Jerry.
Of course, BlackBerry's a legit company. BlackBerry's been around forever. They still make phones too.
It used to be a legit company.
Oh, you mean what they're doing is not legit anymore?
Who owns a BlackBerry these days?
I don't know.
The thing what made BlackBerry super popular, and I used to support BlackBerry servers when I was in the military, right? It was the best thing since sliced bread. Our general of the base loved his he loved to get off the airplane and have his email right there, right? It was the shit in 2003. But look at it now. Like every phone, you got email. I mean, Crackberry. Like why would you buy a BlackBerry when you have a Samsung and you have an Apple phone?
Apparently, BlackBerry is more secure than all the others.
I don't know about that. Apple's pretty well known for security. I mean, at this point, what do you mean by security? Like you can't crack on the phone, or they can't listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. So Nokia, and you and I have talked about this before. Like that, I see Nokia as a phone company.
Yeah, they don't make phones anymore, but BlackBerry, I think, still makes phones.
They probably do, but I mean, Razer. I mean, they still make phones too. But who?
That's Motorola.
I'm curious. Who in this chat here uses a phone other than a Samsung or an Apple? I'm curious.
Well, there's a lot of phones out there.
Still, even comment that. Because I'd love to go back to the flip phone.
There's LG phones. There's those are all kinds of brands out there.
I know there is, but most people use the Samsung.
Most people use
or an Apple. What else are people using? The Pixel?
The Pixel phone, yeah, that's pretty popular. T-Mobile has some, I think, that are made by it's a private maker. I forget, but
yeah. Yes, I'm doing options, long-term plays, long shared. Okay. What? Covered calls. We got Rick. Let's see here. Selling options, mainly puts, or selling naked calls on VIX. if vol picks up Thursday or Friday and holding to expiration. Yeah, I don't like trading on the VIX. Never had any luck with it. It's one of those things that when it does spike up, oh yeah, it's great, but it's just waiting around for a long time for it to spike up. At least he's playing options on it instead of actually, buying it. Like it sounds great. Oh shit, this thing shot up from 18 to 80 in a matter of a week. And it's like you're waiting, 10 years for that to happen.
Dude, I just looked at sorry to interrupt. I just looked at BlackBerry's website. Telephones are like a very small portion of what they do now. They're in a whole bunch of stuff now.
Like what?
Like automotive security, endpoint management, embedded operating systems, and automotive instrument clusters, and all kinds of stuff. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know. Like, just seems weird to me.
It does seem weird.
Like, I mean, I don't want a BlackBerry gauge cluster in my car. Like, I can't take him seriously. I know him as Crackberry from back in the day. I just, I wouldn't buy a fridge from BlackBerry. I'm sorry. I don't think I'd even buy a Samsung fridge, to be honest with you. I don't like these smart fridges and shit. I heard Dave was going to beat me in sub 1 year from now. I heard it here first. I might beat you by the end of the year. Highly doubtful. But let's see. Sell naked puts on Airbnb. I do have an Airbnb on. I actually like Airbnb as a company. So I do have, let's see, where is my, you know what? Yeah, I do have one on. I took it off and put one back on. Or do I take it back? I got a 120 put on. 19% away from me in the money. I got a $1.20 for it. I think it's a reopening play. That's how I see it. So
yeah, and that was the colony that I started. Was
on
a reopening play. No, it was a reopening play as well. So on hotels.
What stock?
AHT hotels.
Was that Hilton?
I think they do. It's a REIT that owns a bunch of Hiltons, I think, or it's upscale hotels. Their financials are in the dumps, though.
Interesting. Well, at least I forgot to ask you. Thanks for sharing that. AHT here, folks. Let's make sure to hit the like button. Those that unscribe have. What is that? What is that, Gerry?
I'm not sure.
It's like it's definitely not an eggplant. What is it? It looks like a tornado, but it's green. What is that?
Is it a virus? Is it poison? What is that? Germs? Is that a germ?
It's chronic. Every single week we do a live stream. We get unsubs on, probably not on Gerry's channel, but on my channel. That video always shows people unsub. So I don't understand what it is. I would love to understand, but like I said, they're never going to make it into the video, because if they watch the video, that means they're probably into options and they wouldn't unsub, right? So Palantir is going to zero. Yeah, you heard it here last. You got Matt Money even saying it now. Charles Schwab told me I don't need portfolio margin because of my trading style. They say I don't even come close to using it. Yeah, they said the same thing with me. I made a video on applying for it and everything because I thought they had approved me. And then, I was already approved for the highest level of options I could get, but they do like an automated thing saying, call us, we need to talk about your latest request or something like that. And you call and like, yeah, we run an analysis and you're not going to benefit from portfolio margin at all. I'm like, so you're denying me? He's like, no, we're not denying you. It's just not going to help you. So I don't have portfolio margin with Charles Schwab. I just Reg T. My portfolio margin is in Interactive Brokers. That's where I'm doing all the options trading anyway. Let's see here. Electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles.
Oh, it's kind of like drones.
Wait, is it VTOL or is it VTOL?
No, okay. So VTOL was wrong. That's not what we were looking at earlier.
Well, there's a ticker on that.
I know, yeah, that's wrong though. But Joby Aviation is a thing. Um,
So I could take that off my list. VTOL looks good.
VTOL. I'm going to actually look at that.
VTOL actually looks pretty decent, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I was going to look at that and see how that's working. But this looks like more like it intends to operate. Joby intends to operate as an air taxi service. Interesting.
Wait, there was on CNBC. There was like an aircraft manufacturer on there for like personal flying. It's relatively cheap. It's an EV aircraft.
Yeah, that's probably what this is.
It was on CNBC like on Thursday or Friday. Let me see.
I don't know. I don't know if Joby is public though. Is it?
I can't remember the name of this company. It was on there.
No, Joby is not public.
If anybody remembers or watched CNBC and saw that segment, let me know. It's an EV airplane. I mean, we're talking about like going from Hollywood to downtown LA or something like that, right? Where you can skip all the traffic and you're in the EV. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to go long distance in an EV airplane. That's the reason why we don't have EV aircraft right now, like jets and shit, right? Too slow to begin with. They weigh a ton with how much batteries they need too. Gerry, if your tan goes above about 81.25, it looks like it would be long. Looks like it would be long to 100. Oh, okay, yeah. Looks like a cup and handle pattern. So if the handle's built out, yeah, I'd be worried about it. If you know anything about patterns, let me look at it.
Well, then I don't want to be in a naked call on it.
Tan. Let's see here.
I'm in a 70 put, by the way.
Oh, that's a small cup and handle. Hasn't actually built the handle out yet, though. But he's right. I mean, if it pops above that 50 period average, actually it would get stuck at 85 first. It probably gets stuck at 85. There's like a 20 period average and like kind of like a trend line there. I don't see it getting to 100 right away. It'd probably stop at 85 and then 90. And then it would freaking go to 100. But yeah, I don't know anything about that company though. It's an exchange traded fund in solar. Oh, I see. Does it pay a good premium?
Yeah, I got what I get for that. I got a buck. Oh wait, I already bought that one back.
I'm gonna put that one on my list.
Yeah, I got a buck 55 for a 70 strike.
A 70. Let's see. Oh, 70 is pretty damn risky, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll put it on my list and see where I can get on it. But
yeah, you could. I like it down in the mid 60s. That's where I was before this 70.
Yeah, I like NIO still. I'm long 800 shares. I have 5 leaves. Pretty balls deep in that one there, Petey. I'm not saying that NIO is a bad company. The problem is it's a Chinese company. That's the problem. So whatever the China wants to do, they want to tank it. They can take it anytime they want. That's the problem. I actually think they make nice looking cars, and they actually probably have better names than Tesla has for theirs. Stocks related to the e-gaming or online sports betting stock is my favorite growth. I actually agree with that. If the growth retail investors taught us anything, I agree with that actually. Penn, you like Penn? Is that an online gaming or is that just a casino in general?
I think they're doing both.
There's another one that you were doing though besides Penn. What was that name of that one?
I think you're thinking of Rick.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
Rick
trading
is
Penn.
Rick is a Penn is more gambling. Rick is more of gentlemen's clubs.
No, it
So
wasn't
they
Rick.
kind of go hand in hand.
But there was another gaming stock that was specifically said gaming when I looked it up. That's popular right now.
Oh, I play gaming
Barstool?
accessories.
What's Barstool? Is that one?
There's
Is that like,
DraftKings, there's
well,
Gamble,
it's DraftKings.
there's
Donkey Kong.
Skills.
But I was playing pen. I don't think I have a pen on right now. Let me look.
I think I
Yeah, I
still.
got a pen this week, I think. Yeah. I closed pen on the 9th, made $52, 50% gain. I did not open a new one up, and I don't know why.
I got a pin. I got a pin 65 that I got $1 for.
Why didn't I open a new one up?
It was probably up that day.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't put that one on.
That's bothering me less and less. It used to bother me to put puts on when the stock's going up. It bothers me less now that we're going long date.
And don't get us wrong, folks. I I put stuff on regardless of what the market's doing, but I also try to put extra stuff on when the market's down, right? I try to take advantage of that. But I'm not going to wait around for it, if that makes any sense. So the market's down 300 points or 500 points that day. I'll put something extra on that day, one or two or three or whatever positions on that day, right? I'm not waiting around for it though, right? Anyways, I think it's a smart thing to do. Oh my God, Dave, did you really give a shout out? Yeah, of course. It's not bad be all end all be all. Let's see. It's yeah. No, it's definitely it's got its place. It's a small portion I play. Yeah. Um, if you were just doing that, I would probably not agree with it. But Wes, with prime time in the Discord, by the way, is actually doing more than just colonies. He's doing credit spreads. He's doing CSPs and all that too, right? Iron condors, I don't know, but he's doing more than just that, right? Like you have to pair it with CSPs because otherwise you'd be, hoping the market goes down to make money or at least trading sideways, and the market doesn't go down that very often, right? So yeah, give him a shout out. You pick and choose exactly like you pick and choose puts. 2 billion market cap and make money even when the stock is down. Anyways, yeah, go to the Discord if you're interested more in that. He can talk more about it. Let's see here. Yeah, in a gang, Nusi and a little Jeppy. Yeah, he's trying to replace his wife, basically. Sorry, he's trying to replace his wife's income. Apple, ExxonMobil, MO for my quarterly pairs. What's ET?
Energy transfer. Used to be a big yield play, big energy play down in Texas.
Damn, that thing is way super expensive right now.
Some Texas.
Let me back that boat up here. That it's way up year to date, but it's not overpriced.
Some Texas all.
Is that just yeah? Well, I mean, ExxonMobil and Chevron, they all recovered. They're not back to where they were in 2015, but I don't know if they're ever going to get back there. $80 for ExxonMobil, I don't know. I mean, transports are coming back. Cars are coming back. Commuting. I mean, I don't know if commuting is going to ever be back where it was, but because a lot of people aren't going back to work, they're working remote permanently, right? But oil, I mean, it's come back nicely. I can say that. Don't think BB makes phones. They are
They still do. It's just a small portion. Car AI, yeah, artificial intelligence. That's a lot of what I saw there.
Yeah. Why would you go with them? Like over like NVIDIA and IBM and
because they pay a crap load of premium. They're in the
for AI.
Oh, that I don't know. But down there, he said BlackBerry is teamed up with Amazon, so that's odd.
Stopwatch, are you on the Discord channel? Your puts are 1 day expiry. What delta generally? Join the Discord. It's free. There's a lot of us, like we chat in there every day. BB is teamed up with Amazon. Huh. BlackBerry is teamed up with Amazon. For doing what? Jeez. Why don't they just buy them out?
Yeah,
Amazon's
why don't they
smart.
just
They're smart.
freaking
That's why. We don't want to burn this. This is a waste of money. Oh, man. Cracking on freaking BlackBerry. I use cheapy Motorola. Okay. So Motorola, they do more than just phones. They actually make chips, you know. But they were the shit back in the day. Like really, I'm talking about like in the 80s and shit.
Yeah, I just got a well, not just, but my Wi-Fi router is Motorola.
Like it was like my dad's very first cell phone was like carrying a brick. It looked like those CBs or whatever they were that in the military, like they were like huge thing. They were talking, you know, talking on these big old brick looking things. That's about how big his very first cell phone was from his job. It wasn't. He never had the one that was a suitcase big though, because there was some that like you carried a suitcase around. But you remember when having a little antenna on your car was the shit? You had
Yeah,
a cell phone that was permanently in your car.
wasn't it like a circle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then like a lot of the car companies started putting them on there by deep, like out of the factory to make them look like they're all high end and shit. Now they just look stupid.
yeah.
Oh man. Stopwatch. Let's see. Are you on the Discord channel? Is your put play? Yeah, I think I didn't already.
I think he doubled up there.
Doubled it up. Leaf hands, paper hands, Titanic hands. A grateful man. See, no. Did I miss the part? You're just in time. What are you talking about? You got Matt Crow. Crow or Crowy? He's just
I'd say
Crow.
Crow.
People unsub because they probably initially sign up for dividends and not interested in options. But I still do dividends. But they don't have to watch the live streams, though. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah,
So,
why get upset off of a different subject? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it because they don't have to watch the live streams unless they're getting notifications of the live streams. Like, I don't want to watch this. But I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't please everybody. I get that. But what the thing is, like, you want to sub, you want to sub fine. That's like, I'm not going to, make you stay here, right? But I want to know why. It's just interesting. It's like I need an exit. I need an exit survey. When they unsubscribe, it pops the survey up. Why are you unsubscribing? What can I do better?
Maybe it's me.
What's that?
Maybe it's me.
It's definitely not you. You're the handsome and the smart one. So, plays are usually 1 to 2 DTEs. This week I did Airbnb on Tuesday for a 30. That's a rare thing to happen, but I usually do one. Yeah. Those are like lotto plays. The 1 to 2 DTEs, they're lotto plays. I had friends that used to buy them. And they're like, yeah, it cost me 5 cents. If it just, pops up at the end of the day, like I'll make a 1,000 bagger off it. I'm like, well, I mean, it was very rare that he ever won on them. I mean, he wasn't losing a lot of money either, but he made a lot. If he was right, he'd make a lot of money, right, in a short amount of time. But I'm just not that type of person. I like to have consistent money coming in that's in my control, not put faith in this that it's just gonna, get attacked by Wall Street bets and go up. I'm just not that type of person. I like to control my income and have it be steady and have it be predictable and not have to worry about not sleeping at night. So yeah, the 1 to 2 DTEs, you're definitely at risk of Vega and Gamma causing those things to explode. Late to the party. Nope, Mikaru, you're just in fine. Do you work on Sundays? Work on Sundays, Mikaru?
In
Let me
Hawaii,
see.
right?
She's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know what she does for a living or anything. But so
We need to
um,
get there one day.
yeah, we need to go out and have a luau. We need to go out there and have a luau with her. Hang out with the cats, have a luau. That
Whole
sounds
pig.
fun. What's that?
A whole pig.
Whole pig, for sure. Homemade freaking bacon, baby. We'll smoke it in the back with some hickory. I don't pay attention to Greeks except for Theta and Vega. That's interesting. You don't really hear much people, meet people. You don't hear much people talk about Vega, let alone like Theta and Vega, right? Theta makes sense. And honestly, I mean, I don't even look at Theta. I do care about like the Theta decay on all my positions, but Delta is like the number one thing, probably the money. The Vega
Oh,
and the Vega and the Gamma, I really don't even look at them, but I know they affect stuff when the shorter DTEs.
yeah, I don't pay attention to either one, but I would like to have a Chevy Vega.
Yeah, I like a Gremlin. Joby will go public through ticker RTP. It's a SPAC. Joby.
SPAC.
What's is Joby the SPAC or is the RTP the
RTP's the SPAC.
that's the SPAC? Um, let's see here.
Look
Yeah,
like it's right at around its opening price,
$10.
$10.
The whole SPAC thing kind of died down. I mean, who was
Yeah,
somebody was on TV, it was on CNBC this week talking about SPACs. I don't know who was talking about SPACs, but still SPACs are hot. Like it's the way to go still for IPO over an IPO, but um, I think they've died down. A lot of them died down. Why is that thing not past $10, right? Unless it
it should
just
have a
started.
spike though.
Did it a spike? I don't know.
It had a spike back in February up to 15, but now it's back down to where it opened.
I'm not into SPACs. I don't have any reason to do a SPAC. I've done some SPACs, but never. I did the SoFi one. I think I did elite. I don't know what I did. There's options in SPACs, so we'll make 154 over 4 days, 8 days on cat. Primo is better because of the down days. I wonder what like the 3 weeks on it was. Well, he didn't say what a strike was. He's probably at the money or something.
If I remember off the top of my head, it was the 212.50.
The 212. Yeah, I would want to be at the 200. And there's probably nothing there. That's where I'd want to be. I looked. Did I look that day? I think I'd even looked the day it was down because it's down pretty big one day, and I looked
Yeah.
and it was like there was nothing down there. It's a solid stock though. Invest in me, Daddy. I said it would be great. It'd be a good PMCC long play. Which one was he talking about?
Oh, 10. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that for PMCC. I'm just not much of a PMCC person, honestly. They have their place. I don't like getting stuck in them. I thought Dave said he was. I don't know what he's talking about. Did jars?
800 shares deep of what? Wish? Palantir? Neo?
Palantir's going to zero. We're getting Rebecca to come to DRO, so Dominican Republic is. Yeah. She's closer to the Dominican Republic than I am. So the thing for Matt, like it's just like a little puddle jumper away to Dominican, a puddle jumper away, a ceiling fan with wings away for him. For me, it's a lot longer flight. Come to DR. Yeah. As long as I don't have to wear a mask. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Dominican. Yeah. Do you know what DR was? Does Nusi, Jeppy, etc., sell their calls put to individuals or other institutions?
No,
It's
it's
all the
not the
above. It's
individuals.
against the NDX, right? Well, at least Nusi is.
They all sell them. Well,
Can we trade anything on the NDX?
I don't think so. Well, maybe you can. I mean, you can do the SPX, right?
SPX we can do.
So I wouldn't imagine you couldn't do NDX either.
Yeah. My guess is it's all the above. The thing is it's probably institutions that are buying the darn things in bulk, right? Because they're selling a shitload of them, right? Like a lot of contracts. So, and I think they're like those contracts are a boatload of money.
Yeah, they're big. They're big money. So I
They're
don't
they're
think
big dogs.
individuals. Yeah, I don't think
So it's not,
individuals. Well, unless they're big individuals, I don't think they're really participating in those.
yeah. Are you talking about like the Mark Cubans of the world?
Yeah,
Not Matt Money or myself type of individual.
right.
See, get that woman out and work for once.
Out of
Dude,
work.
you're a
Out
slave
at work.
driver. Jeez. I could see Matt Money taking the freaking clock away from his freaking microwave and his stove saying, get in there, get in there and work, like, geez, slave driver. Come on, man. Feed him with honey. Let's see here. Why are you going down there? Did I miss something? I know why he's going down there. This woman is going to be out of work ASAP in years. Yeah, she's smart. She's smart. She's mowing her own lawn. They got anti-snorting pillows. Oh, snoring pillows. They got anti-snoring pillows. Bet her old mattress didn't do that. $10,000. That thing better freaking
You better do a lot of stuff.
better do a lot of stuff. It better wash that swamp ass. It better freaking make you back breakfast in bed. I don't think a lot of people know what we're talking about here, but I'm not going to call out Rebecca, but there are such thing as $10,000 beds, people. He only does colonies. Yeah, right. Then Columbia. I'll go there. DR. Didn't they have a problem with drop dead after drinking the club soda at the pool party? Ew, that's scary. I honestly don't think it's the safest place.
Probably not.
I think Trinidad's probably safer. Why are you laughing, Rebecca? Question. Yeah, they're just talking amongst themselves. You're paying for a flight. You got a healthcare money. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Is this a new one?
The Razor phone was one of the first big flip phones. They have a new Razor phone now.
Odin 2. Razor.
I've seen them in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the Odin 2s, the Razor phones used to be popular back in like it was like 2011, 2012.
It was the last phone that when you hung up on somebody, it actually meant something. You just slam that sucker down.
Yeah. Slamming it down once is not enough.
Now they make a new Razor phone. That's a flip phone. It's a flip phone. Well, you flip it open and it's a bendable screen. It's pretty cool.
Yes, I've seen those because I'm looking at Google Fi, or I'm actually looking at Mint Mobile as my option when I quit work because my phone's paid for by my work. So I'm like, okay, what options do they have? Like, do they? Because I want a Samsung. I've always been a Samsung fan for years. Like back when my flip phone was all Samsung, right? So years. But anyways, I've always been a Samsung fan for their phones. I'd never own an Apple. I've only owned an Apple once because it's provided by my work. It was a piece of shit, total piece of garbage. Now, granted, that was back to like the iPhone 4 days or something like that. So they did. They have it's not the traditional flip phone though. Like
no,
it's not like the Matilda type of phone. Like the little teeny small flip phone.
I don't know if you can flip that screen and slam it like you used to. That screen might be a little sensitive to that.
$1,000 phone? Yeah, I don't know. So
because that Razor used to be able to flip it open with one thumb, just bloop.
Did it have an antenna you pulled out?
No, I think the original models might have.
I've talked about this before, but it used to be you were the shit the smaller your phone was.
Yeah.
Like that whole
Okay.
freaking Zoolander thing where he's like, Earth the Matilda, like the little team. Honestly, I had a friend of mine from high school. It was after like maybe 90, late 90s or something like that. And he's got this little teeny phone. It's like this big, you know. It's like flip it out, you know, and it looked like a Zoolander phone, right? But nowadays it's like carrying around a freaking tablet. That's how big they are, right? And
Yeah.
and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Might as well have an iPad.
Might as well. And it's like nobody. You notice now, like hardly anybody puts them in their pocket anymore either. Like everybody carries them around, right? That's like the normal thing, unless you have a man purse. Heard you on the 6 figs now. Yeah, I don't know. Talking about Rebecca, maybe. My Moto phone is so sleek and handy. Love it.
You got to go down about 10. This is all just back and forth chatter.
Bicker and banter and backer. Let's see this one.
There you go.
Will you be traveling with a travel trailer or RV when you fire, Dave? You looking at just RVs, GW, or travel trailers? I won't do the RV thing right away. I want to go travel out of the country for quite a while. Then when I get back, I'll probably settle down, maybe get a home base, and then I'm going to convert a 40-foot school bus to an RV. That's my plan. That answers this question. What about you, Gerry?
I'm gonna do an RV. I'll just buy one, preferably used, and I'll tow a vehicle when I go do it. Reason for that is I want to have 2 forms of transportation just in case something happens to one. I'm not stuck, right? If I were like for instance, what you're trying to do, you're looking at some. If I were stationary and I had means already to pull a trailer, and you wanted to start, doing some RVing right now, I'd look at a travel trailer because you can get it in cheaper. You already have the vehicle to pull it. You don't have to deal with a second motor and all that stuff. And if you're looking at part-time RV, you're just going to go away for the weekend and go spend some time, right? I think that's fine. But for someone like me that wants to full-time and travel the country, I kind of want those 2 motors, and that's just me.
You could always put an e-bike on the back of your trailer.
But hopefully,
your back of your trailer RV or whatever. But
yeah, that's true.
You should have an RV. You should have an EV bike on there anyway, regardless if it's a RV or a travel trailer. The hell was I going to ask you, Gerry?
I don't know. You were gonna ask me whether 30 amp or 50 amp.
That's definitely what I wasn't going to ask. Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to ask. Anyways, he's right. Don't buy options. Sell. Put all the risk in the other people's. Like they got to get all those 3 things right. I talk about it every single week. They got to get the direction right. They got to get the timing right, and they got to get the stock right. Put all that shit in their freaking lap, right? Have them have to be right in all 3 of those things at the same time. I have dibs. It's always implied. Sarah, be kind. Do you put out weekly picks for the week ahead? We stopped doing that. None of us do it. I've never done it. Gerry, I don't think has ever done it either.
No.
Thumper was doing it, but he figured it, it's just not a smart thing to do when you have a YouTube channel, to be honest with you.
No.
Because people parrot stuff. And not only they parrot stuff, they're parroting off of like something that could be like 5 days old, 10 days old, who knows, right? And then they're going to blame you when it goes south, So it's just a bad idea.
I do share what I do every week after I've done it.
I do as well.
You have to, you can watch those, and then you can find some tickers there that you want to research yourself. And, but no, I honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. None.
I don't either at this point. And I don't really care because I had a bunch of stuff cooking right now. Look, go to my website here. It is still being revamped. Hopefully, maybe this week we'll get an update. But I put my latest post out there today. I do it weekly. That's got my latest positions that I have on right now. Okay, and I got a lot of positions on, probably not as much as usual. 33 positions on, 51 contracts. So if you want to see the latest positions, go there. But I'm already in them, So if you think you can get in there and, parrot it or whatever, maybe some you'll get. I don't know. To me, it's like those aren't recommendations. Just that's the stuff I'm in. You can use it for an example, or okay, he's doing these, whatever. Kind of get an idea of my strategy, but I just don't think it's a smart thing to do. I really don't. I'm a very transparent person, and I've had people get upset with me in my, dividend stocks to buy for June or whatever, like saying you're not in any of these. You have no intentions of buying. I'm like, that's not the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is to look at entry points on these potential good stocks, right? Just because I don't own it doesn't mean that you don't want to own it. I don't know, whatever. It's so finicky. I mean, you can't please everybody, I look and track the theta every day. Yeah, I know. I started doing it too. I think I'm like, Gerry, what's yours at right now?
Yeah, we were talking about that just the other day. I think I'm at like 90. I'd like to get it up higher, I think.
I'm at like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so low. Well, I guess I know why I'm so low, but so I'm not using as much buying power as you.
I'm not even using a lot either, but I'm using my theta's showing at like 220 right now, so Vega's at minus 506. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, so that's what mine's at. Let's see here. Where the hell's the stream at? Here we go. Let's see here. It's so hot down there. Yeah. What are you talking about? All good. It's not like it's not hot in freaking Houston. Not like it's not, humid down in Houston. That's why it's called Houston, right? It's humidston down there, right? Let's see. I bet you it's humid where Mikaru's at too.
Probably.
We're all meeting. There we go. That's how you spell luau. I would have totally butchered that. Heck yeah. How many rooms do you have? How many beds do you have? I'll come down there and hang out and play with all the cats any day of the week. That's good because I literally I've only been to Hawaii once. I've never been to Kauai. Well, I want to go to Kauai, but I've only been to Hawaii once, and that was when I deployed during in the military. We left Travis Air Force Base. That was our first place we went to, was Hickam, and guess what? We broke down for 3 days, almost to the fact that, look, we had a showtime in the morning to get back on the C5, right? We get on the C5, we get on the runway, we literally make a run down the runway, and then they shut it down like near half runway, and they get on the loudspeaker and say, yeah, issue's still not fixed, we're going to return. And then we go back to our hotel. Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah, so we broke down. We didn't really break down. It's just that's how they get to stay there for a few days. Dave, put that on the take a look at the website. I've been starting to post my stuff there, or the weekly update there. It's pretty quick read. I'm not the best writer in the world. Stay safe, not Dave safe. I want to be like Dave. You want to be a power single like Dave? That's a Samism. Let's see here. Were you thinking of Golden Nugget?
That's another one. GNOG. I think it's newer.
GNOG?
Yeah.
Are you down with me?
It's Golden Nugget Online Gaming.
Oh, God. I left my FinViz page. GNLD.
GNOG.
GNOG. Are you an OG, Gerry?
Old Gerry.
GNOG. Helps if you spell it right. Golden Nugget. 1 billion. It's got a high short float. Huh. What's the premium like on that?
It's in the meme stock arena.
Yeah, it's a little memey than what I would want. Pen's okay though. Dave gets all the babes. It's been a couple years since I've had any babes. COVID didn't help. Could just be Dave that doesn't help too. Neo. Neo. Like I said, I like Neo. I just don't like that it's Chinese. The Dividend Republic. That's a good one. You mean Dave? You mean Hidden Freedom? I only see this past week. What's he talking about?
He's wanting our what we're gonna do picks.
Oh yeah, gotcha. You can look at my latest positions, and then Gerry talks about kind of his on Wednesdays too. But I don't think there's really anybody that. There might be other YouTube channels that do it, but I could, I don't know what they're doing, so I couldn't really vouch for them. Yeah, I don't know. Even Thumper was doing it, and then he figured, and then he stopped. Took him down, actually. I don't think it's needed. I can say this, though. If you want ideas or more ideas, you can go to the CSP Facebook page. There's people that might post that stuff there. Right? There's a person that does a scanner like on Sundays and puts that crap out.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't agree with a lot of those positions.
No.
Have you looked at that list, Gerry?
Yeah, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, exactly.
I see AMC on there. I see GameStop on there. And I'm like, eh.
So just take it with a grain of salt or a shot of vodka. Like I said, if you want ideas of stuff to trade, look at the list that on my website, right? Because those I don't really trade junk. I might trade a little bit more riskier stuff than solid stuff, but I don't really trade junk. When's the last time I traded any junk? Can you recall any junk that I ever traded, Gerry?
Roblox.
That's not junk. Even
Palantir.
James does roadblocks.
Palantir.
Palantir's not junk though. Yeah.
It's going to zero.
Palantir's not junk. It's just acting junky. Hey, thanks for that, Carlos. And I'm assuming he's talking to me. It could be Gerry's channel, but I appreciate that. If you know what, if you're talking about Gerry's or Thumper's or mine or Matt's or whoever else is in here that has channels, then thank you. Honestly, the video I put out this week, and I've had a lot of people, say that it motivated them, say that it inspired them, and I've only had a couple of people kind of not really trash the video, but I guess number one, a couple people have said this, that I have clickbait titles or clickbait thumbnails. And I don't know if they're saying it because of the text that's on there or because of the girl that's on there. It's most likely because of the girl that's on there. But I'm like, who in finance thinks that that's a clickbait, thumbnail because there's a girl on there? Look, 99% of the people that come to my channel are all men. That's it. Simple as that. And they're better looking. Those girls that are on there are better looking than me. That's the reason why they're on there. So I don't know if they're clickbait, but this guy literally comes to watch the Charles Schwab platform video, and he got all upset because their girl wasn't in the video. And I'm like, it's a Charles Schwab freaking platform video. Who comes to watch that video for the woman? That's hilarious. Thumbs down the video. At least he freaking was honest about it. But
that's funny.
Oh my God! If people are upset about that, maybe I've only had a couple people say it. Like if everybody was saying like, oh, you clickbait, 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 then maybe I'd change it. But honestly, a lot of people really haven't said that. Maybe not week ahead. Yeah. One NDX, but there you go, right there. Yeah, exactly. It's big bucks. Just like so the ES minis, those are smaller, right? Like ES is smaller than SPY, or I'm sorry, SPX, right? But when you get to the big stuff like that, I'm spitting on myself apparently. NDX, SPX, that's the big dog shit right there, right? Even more than the NQs and the ES, right? Which are futures, but they're mini futures, right? What are you doing, Gerry?
Sorry, I'm reading ahead on comments.
I'm getting there, man. Come on.
I try not to read ahead, but
Do you think it's too late to buy and hold realty income? That's a good question. Let me look at realty income. I did pare back my position just a little bit, just a teeny bit. Not very much. I still own it. Let's see. So the thing with realty income, you got to look at it in a bigger chart. Just prior to 2020, it was in the $80 range. Don't you think that realty income's in a better place now than they were prior to the pandemic? Like I get it, maybe AMD, maybe AMC, maybe Planet Fitness, Gold's Gyms, whatever. Maybe some of those went away. I think that they're in a better shape than they were prior to the pandemic. I think, but you're right. It's come up a lot. And 70 is a pretty, so I did trim just a little bit. I was a little overweight in real estate. And I'm not just talking about like I'm overweight because I actually own notes. I have flips. That's real estate too. So I'm just overweight in real estate in general. I think it's a good place if you were going to trim some, would be a okay place to trim some. But he's really not asking that, is he?
no.
It depends. It's probably a good buy and hold for a long time. Like they're one of the best out there. There's only really two REITs that are aristocrats, FRT and is FRT might be a king actually.
Yeah, it's a king.
So yeah, this is an aristocrat. I mean, honestly, it's if you want to get real estate exposure, that's a good one to go with. If you want to get overall real estate exposure, VMQ. I probably would be okay to buy and hold at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Dave Trigger's taxation is theft. Yes, I agree. All taxation, well, at least federal is. I don't agree with federal tax at all. Period. Local and state tax, that's questionable too. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Is this one you're laughing at?
No, I was laughing at Rebecca's.
About the taxation?
Those are your triggers. Those are what triggers you. That's what is her.
Just that? There. Nothing else?
You get triggered off her mother. The way she wrote it, your mother effing bed.
Oh yeah. It's rental. Rentals, yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I got videos out there I did on rentals back when I sold my rentals, and it's not for everybody. Everybody loves to get into rentals, though, because it gets pounded in your head over the years from Robert Kiyosaki and whoever that Puowski guy or whatever. He just got a YouTube channel. Who else? You got all those Property Brothers and the other people on there. Joanna. I got dibs on Joanne, by the way, if she ever gets a divorce. Who else? Yeah. All those other freaking, Monologo and all those people, So it's just rentals. They're not all cracked up to be. Sorry, they're just not. There's no good long-term exit strategy either. Take them to the grave. You're okay with that. But then there's probably a wealth tax. You need to find a way to step up the basis on them. That's what you need to do. 1031 is not the solution. And then people say, well, why don't you go into freaking, multifamily? And honestly, I don't want to be over in freaking Thailand dealing with multifamily shit over here. Phones started getting bigger when they realized we could watch porn on them.
That's probably true.
Gave my thumbs up. And you can't get a freaking virus on your computer because it's on a tablet. Well, we know what you do when you leave early. Let's see here. Do they put picks out for the week ahead? No, we don't do that. I don't think there's probably people that do that, but they honestly charge for it. And they're probably a lot of them are junk. Probably a lot of them are junk.
Yeah, learn how to
Investing teacher might
evaluate
put out recommendations.
who.
Investing teacher.
Oh yeah, but honestly, I'd say learn what you want to play. Don't rely on someone else's picks.
Don't chase premium.
Don't chase premium. Figure out your own strategy that works for you.
Yeah. And don't play those Wall Street bet stocks either. Stay away from that crap. Don't think you can outsmart the market because you can't. Are we outsmarting the market? No, we have a system. We have a system that we play that's like there's rules. It's rules based. You have tried SPY credit spreads. I don't do SPY credit spreads. If I was going to do a credit spread, it'd be on the SPX, and that scares the shit out of me, to be honest with you. I've only done it once on SPX, and it just scared the shit out of me. It's just too risky for me, anyway. You ever mess with the SPX, Gerry?
No, that looks really scary.
It's pretty scary. Gerry could get a Cybertruck. Oh man, he lost me a Cybertruck, especially if you had Tesla in front of it. But Tesla, come on, that's not a truck. Futuristic, yeah. Well, it is a futuristic trailer, but it's not an RV.
Yeah, that'd be. But what do you see? That's my whole thing. Is like, okay, what do? You go up to the mountains, right? And you're under all this tree cover. Do you bring a gas generator with you?
First of all, you're paying an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
It's
They need to
not
wait
a
for
real
it to
truck.
charge.
Yeah, it's not a real truck. I don't know. Yeah. What's the payload capacity in one of those things? You saw my I gotta put it in another. I did make a Tesla like a roast video, and I I put a freaking Lance camper shell on it. It looked like shit.
Well, they do have.
Make a stainless steel one. That's what they need.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have a crap ton of torque, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter about payload, right? The payload, because they're not dualies, right?
Right.
So,
and then, the batteries are taking up most of the payload, probably.
probably. I bet you the payload is probably not that high on that thing. I went to 0 to 60 with a camper shell. It's like in 3 seconds. Meanwhile, every cupboard in your camper is going to open up and dump shit out of it. Not to mention, it might slosh around the shit that's in the freaking black tank out the toilet. Do you guys offer course on your strategy? Or no, we don't. This is kind of a webinar in a way. Go back and watch. I mean, it's not really focused down to that, though. Watch a lot of Thumper's videos. Watch Tasty Trade videos. Go into the Discord. You can ask questions in there. There's like-minded folks in there. All of us are in there. We all talk. We have a Thursday night chat where you can ask any question you want, talk about strategy or whatever. A course is something that I had thought about maybe doing, but and honestly, it wouldn't be very expensive. I wouldn't charge an arm and a leg for it. That's just not who I am. Yeah, I'd probably get like some girl to record it too, because she'd be have a way sexier voice than I have. Let's see here. Discord, yeah, join the Discord. Join the Discord. It's free. Holy shit, $450. What's your buying power usage right now, James? That's the what 550. My God, he's probably pretty high. He got up like above 50% one day. Gotta live Pearl Ridge City, Alua. Oh yeah, got Rajiv. Hey Rajiv, how are you doing with your? Was it Riot? Was it
Or
Mar
Mar.
or Riot?
I
Did
don't
you
remember.
recover? I haven't seen it in the Discord. Did you recover from those? Here you go.
You
Charlie
didn't
here.
answer his question, Dave.
Oh. Did you did you ever sell puts on the airlines? No, I have not done any on those.
I've been looking at them, but I haven't yet.
I would like to have had a leap on them,
Yeah.
along with like CCL and Norwegian. Charlie here, he honestly was the king of doing spreads on SPX. So I don't know. I think he's got some videos on his channel, by the way. I don't think he stopped doing them because I asked him, but he still has them out there, I think. If you want to look at like a spreads on SPX, you know. See, good or bad, hypothetical retirement strategy, $1 million split evenly between Nusi, QLD, JEPI, XYLD strategy for a buy and hold, helping in-laws with strategy. Okay, return. I wonder what the average yield be across that.
Probably
I looked honestly
about
between Nusi, QLD, and JEPI, and it was like,
it's like 7 or 8.
yeah, I think it fell in the 7%. Because I had split out $33,000 across all three of those just to see like how much margin impact it would be. But I didn't throw XYLD in the mix. That's the SP 500. What do you think, Gerry?
It's helping his in-laws with retirement ideas. Now, here's the thing is, do they need the income? Right? So, I mean, if they need the income, going into those funds are good, but if they don't need the income, then why go into those?
What would they put it in then?
You would put it in the market.
So not dividend stocks, but not so like a VU or VTI is what you're basically
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, but I'm just saying, if they don't need the income, right? If they're getting Social Security, if they get a pension, if they have, all that stuff and their expenses are all covered, why not? Why go into these? That's all I'm saying.
You could do a hybrid too,
Yeah.
$500,000 split, and then put the rest in VTI or VU or something like that, or even more traditional, or even go Devo, right? Devo
You
too is a
got
good.
you got to start thinking about tax management there.
Yeah.
So that your QILD technically should be tax free. So that shouldn't affect you too much, but I don't know.
That's one of those ones that just prompts more questions.
Yeah.
Like, how much is in tax deferred account? How much is in taxable account? What's their goal? Just like you said, what do you call it? Pensions and all that crap. Required minimum distributions, all that darn stuff we got to deal with. Maybe I need to put my boobs out there. Oh, for sure. For sure. Remember Kitty? Nobody remembers Kitty. Kitty was healthy up there, and the guy brought her on the channel all the time or whatever. I don't know. I've never saw her, but yeah, Kitty. It's back on back. Anyways, yeah, for sure. Um, let's see here. Nobody wants to see my man boobs. I don't really have man boobs, but let's see here. OnlyFans. Jumer. What's going on, Jumer? Good to know. Yeah, gains another passive income stream. Yeah, I think we're down at the bottom. What do you think, Gerry?
Yep, it looks like we are.
Great fun live stream. Yeah, we're down at the bottom. We're gonna call here. It's been longer than normal. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Same to you. So his buying power is 39. So he's a little bit more. He's a little more heavier than I am. Not very much though. Hey, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining. Like I said, join the Discord. It's free. You don't like it, you can always just leave. You can always just, what do they call it? Leave. It's called leave.
There's no obligation.
I put a post out weekly on, I'm starting to anyway, post about there on the website. You can look at my latest positions out there. Go check out Gerry's Wednesday videos if you want to look up more about options. You want to know more about ETFs, go look at his Sunday or Saturday videos. You want to know more about whatever I talk about, which is dividends, fire. Normally it's just dividends and fire type stuff. I really stopped doing options videos, but I don't know. Maybe I'll start doing them again at some point in my life. I don't know. Right now I'm just overworked. I have a 9-to-5 job. I make a video for the other channel too. So thanks a lot for everybody that's kind of subscribes to me on the second channel too. So Gerry,
subscribe to Dave's second channel.
Yeah, hidden space off grid. Anyways, let's go ahead and end it here, Gerry.
Yep. You guys have a good week.
Everybody have a great week. The futures are basically flat, so we'll talk to y'all later. Let's have a good week.